DBD has decided to nerf one of my favorite DBD perks, and I'm talking about Hope. Why, I have no clue. But some time ago, I think it was probably about 2 or 3 years now with patch 6.1, they actually made a change to Hope that got rid of the 2-minute timer for the perk. It used to be active for 2 minutes once you completed the last generator, and don't worry, it's still going to be active for the entirety of the end game, but its haste effect is only going to be 5% instead of 7. And this change leaves a lot of players, including myself, wondering why. I'm not even sure that this perk is that popular according to some perk websites that keep track of recent perks, like popular perks for survivors and killers. Hope only comes in at about 18 with an escape rate of only slightly lower than 35%. Like if we go to like some of like the top 10 perks, windows of opportunity, life, similar escape rates, resilience. Honestly, hope it's kind of in line with dead hard and sprint burst. Decisive strike actually has a higher escape rate too. I'm not really sure why. The only thing I can really fathom here is that maybe this was behavior's way of kind of, you know, nerfing a perk that affected negatively low tier killers more. Because honestly, some of the most value I get with Hope is, end game when an M1 killer that doesn't really have mobility or a projectile based power, they're just not able to really catch me. I can pretty much just take them to shack or any like semi safe structure and run them for a while my teammates open the door. And even if they've gained a stack of Bloodlust or two, I can usually make it to the door before they're able to catch up to me. So I don't know if this is their way of, trying to keep a perk in line that is more punishing to M1 killers. Because honestly, I don't know that it really does anything to like a lot of the S tier killers, like Blight, Nurse, Spirit, Wesker, pretty much anyone with a dash, Hope can sometimes be relatively useless. But still, I'm not really sure why. And I know the anti-slug and the anti-tunnel mechanics aren't going through. I know they're kind of taking a second look at those. But I'm pretty sure the Hope changes or the Hope nerf is. Um, yeah, I'm just perplexed by this one. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because Hope is quite literally one of my favorite perks. And I think it's kind of so unique. Like, let's think about it for a second. It only activates after you've done all of the generators, after you've done your entire objective. I think if it's deemed as a powerful perk in general, which I'm not saying it is, I think the reward is justified considering the fact that you have a dead perk for the majority of the game. You have a perk that isn't going to do anything for you as survivor until you complete your objective, and even then, it may not even benefit you. There are going to be many games where you die before you get to see it active. There's going to be games where, you finish all the generators, you're still alive, but the killer just doesn't chase you. Maybe they give up, maybe they're on somebody else. I feel it's just a perk that doesn't get a lot of value, but it is one that when it works and you are getting value from it, you get quite a bit. I can attest to that. It is kind of a end game last sort of chase, changer. And again, maybe the only reason that I can foresee why this perk is getting nerfed is, as I said, maybe because it's more punishing for some of the weaker killers while doing pretty much nothing versus a lot of the top tier killers with mobility. But I think that's just like a killer power issue. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you guys it kind of took you guys by surprise? Do any of you care? Do any of you love this perk? I think I'm probably still going to be running it myself because 5% extra haste is still kind of good, and I like the perk design. I like the wings. So, yeah. Anyways, let me know down below what you think.